when I was like a kid. Like we used to say, man, God don't like ugly, that's what you get. If you did something wrong, even if I can't prove you did something wrong, like God knows, you know, that you did something wrong. I robbed, cheat, killed in one day, but my outfit made sure I got away. I'm a citizen that's sworn in by the state to uphold a law that protects my own fate. Starting it off very heavy with this character. The song from a perspective of someone who's white, a police officer. This character, he runs a red light, that's cheating. He kills a man, even though his backup says the wrong guy, and he robbed the dudes from his future. He's someone who's sworn in by the state to uphold the law. However, when he does something unjust, he's protected by that same system. You can protest, just protest the rap, but there's no contest if you protest the badge. I seen two more just walking in the street. They gave me some lip and they grinded on their teeth. I shot him in the head, made sure that he was dead. No jail time, now what that makes me. The first verse kind of like blends into the character of Darren Wilson, the police officer that shot and killed Michael Brown. So I talk about when he first encounters Dorian Johnson and Michael Brown. Use the word more specifically because that's a term that described as black people back in the day. However, when black people started being enslaved by the Europeans started using the term more as a more derogative term. I'm a citizen that lives between the state of being taken out or being locked up. I smoke blunts, I'm so high my eyes shut. Much better than a place to when I wake up. I wake up surrounded by lows. How I'm supposed to live and pay off my toes. The first verse, the character is, he's protected by the state and he works for the state. In the second verse, this character lives between the state of being taken out or being locked up. So I start this verse as a character who's foreshadowing his death. When I say taken out, I'm not saying specifically taken out by a police officer that happens to be white. I'm more so saying that he can be taken out by his own people. So like, now I'm starting the second verse off with a different character who I guess you could say is a black male, and he's saying, I think I smell success up ahead. He can become anything. This dude can become the next tap dancer. But what he was wearing, now when I say, but the outfit made sure that I was dead, I'm not necessarily talking about specifically what, you know, a black man is wearing, but the outfit of being black. I want to be clear, like I'm not saying that every black man walks outside and he's in danger of being, you know, like taken out by his own people or a police officer. I'm saying that there are some black people that do walk outside their house and they face that reality. This is a character. This is speaking from that character. Tolls was a reference to like the toll booths on like a highway. You know, it's something that you have to pass through and you have to pay to pass through. And so how I'm supposed to live and enjoy myself when the amount of money I make is just enough just to get by. Skittles like rainbows to my soul, hoodies like symbols to my woes. Trayvon Martin, on the night that he was shot and killed, he was found with a pack of Skittles. This character kind of blends into the character of Trayvon Martin. Trayvon also was wearing a hoodie that day. Trayvon Martin wearing a hoodie was so controversial. Some people say that like that was the reason, that was the cause of his death. The short word in hoodie is hood, and hood is another word for ghetto, a place where predominantly black people live. The hood and the ghetto is not the best place to live, the place where you can definitely experience some woes. The hoodie that he's wearing being a symbol of the place that he come from. Think about it, we speak what we know. I'm sorry, I'm a product of my flows. About gangster music, like gangster music is bad or this music is bad. Like how bad is it when I'm just really talking about the place where I live? You report the news, like what's the difference? You just see the way that I dress, but don't assume that's reflecting my goals. The way that Trayvon Martin was dressed that night, the way that Michael Brown was dressed that day was used against him in the case. Well, oh, Trayvon Martin, he must have been a thug. He was wearing a hoodie and khakis. How they were dressed doesn't dictate their future. President of the United States coming out and saying that if I had a son, he would look like Trayvon Martin. And when he said that, it was so deep because like he was saying three things at once. In one way, he was saying that let's rewind time. Barack Obama, when he was 17, some dude saw him in some gated neighborhood, thought that he was suspicious, followed him and shot and killed him. Then we would have never had a black or African American president. Nothing changed. You still smell fear, and your reaction is bullets in my soul. There's other representations of the black man being nonviolent, being highly educated. We still have folks out there that truly fear the black man no matter what he's wearing. You know, like having Black History Month is important. It's a reason there's Black History Month and there's not, you know, no other months. I was born here a king. I'm gonna die here king. Like black emperors and black kings and queens. And like it's like we not like I never was taught that in school. Technically yesterday was history. Like how is it that in school you learn about Greek mythology, which started 700 BC. They don't talk about the mid 1400s before.
They skip like, it's like an entire chapter of history that they just skip.
Right. Martin Luther King didn't graduate Morehouse at 15. He actually graduated at 19, but he was enrolled at Morehouse at 15. Actually, like that whole third verse is kind of like a freestyle. I didn't even write it. I was just like going in. I was caged like a bird, but with these words I got wings. I float like a butterfly. I sting like a bee. I put the flight at Washington. You teed off from Douglas. You shouldn't taught me how to read. Talking about how like we were caged like a bird. That's a reference to Maya Angelou's autobiography. Going on the whole like flying thing. I booked the flight at Washington. You teed off. Talking about Booker T. Washington. However, later on in the verse, I say never mind. Too fast. I'm head of state. War outside, so you walk with your chest up. Put LeBron James on whoever that steps up. They try to run the train on my brother and sister. I built a railroad for my brother and sister. I built civil rights, rock and roll, hip hop, jazz. Now, I think that in the end, the message, in the end, what you can walk away from listening to this song is that black people were oppressed for a very long time. And I feel like it's still going on today, but just in a more psychological way. Even though being oppressed, our resilience is unmatched, we still find a way. Like Frederick Douglass like could only dream of like a black man being like the president of the United States. This is deep.
You know I was smiling.
Yeah, God don't like ugly.